In this video response, I would like to address the point of miracles in the context of the experiment that is being laid out in the beginning, where some people were prayed for by others and they had some symptoms disappear, while others that were not prayed for had no symptoms disappear. It would be interesting to know when this experiment took place, because if you research Desteni Productions and the white light heaven process documentation, one will see that before things changed in heaven, before the deception was revealed and a process began to purify the dimensional existence, heaven existed as a hierarchy of a godhood system referred to as the white light. Now, if you're a New Ager, for instance, you will know or will have read or heard about the White Brotherhood, or the Brotherhood of the White Light. The interesting thing about this whole brotherhood and this whole white light story is that it has existed within and as the same hierarchy structures, in the same deception and manipulation that exists on earth in terms of the elite, and how the elite and those in power exploit and suck dry those that are less than in terms of power, money, and energy in this world. And that was exactly the same scenario that was going on in heaven as well. Now, this is really a long story, and well, actually it's a short story, but it can also be long, because there's many different beings that came through the portal to share their perspectives and experiences within the dimensions and within the different types even of dimensions. For instance, demon dimensions, or the angels and the white light dimensional planes. But also interesting is that of those beings and from all those dimensional planes, no one ever saw any God. God was apparently existent, and everybody was having, respect and fear towards God, but nobody ever saw God. It was always just this blinding white light. But to come back to the point, miracles was a tactic, a, so to speak, brainwashing tool that was used to mesmerize and hypnotize and excite beings into believing or hoping to, for instance, receive a miracle, hoping to see a miracle, hoping to be one of the special ones that will someday witness a miracle that will make them even more special, for instance. Now, the fact that some people would be given or shown miracles and others not was also a point that would ignite jealousy, competition, separation, comparison, between human beings. And that again would ignite even more the energetic existence within us human beings, which is actually what heaven thrived upon. That is also another story that is worth investigating, because the same story, the same concept, the same scenario is still currently existent and functioning on Earth. And it is fascinating, to not say fucked up, how we have ended up existing and accepting this existence to be. Another question one should ask oneself is, why do miracles happen where only one or a select few people are, graced with a miracle? Why no miracles ever happen, for instance, where huge natural catastrophes happen? Why do miracles never ever happen where millions starve to death? So there's really a couple of serious questions to be asked about the application and manifestation of miracles throughout history. And if one follow the application and manifestation of miracles, there is something off about it. Because if it was really about helping and supporting and changing this world, it would have been a different story, a different scenario. Instead, it really looks like it was all about getting people excited, getting people hoping, wishing, praying for miracles for themselves, for their loved ones, etc. But miracles always happened in places where the happening of the miracle would simply or mainly support the further enslavement of human beings into a religion, any religion. Because if you look at it, all religions are the same at their core. It's all about hoping, sitting and waiting, wishing, praying, abdicating responsibility unto someone more than, higher than, a savior, a God, a divine being or a divine entity or presence or whatever one wants to call it. The point is, one is abdicating one's own self-directive power into something out there, which commonsensically and practically then implies self-defeat and self-abdication of oneself here. Because one is constantly projecting oneself, one's life, one's whole being and existence onto something out there for which one continues to pray and hope and wish, instead of actually empowering oneself and standing up as one's own power, as life here. Because if a God really existed, would God want us to be inferior? Would God want us to follow him blindly? Would God want us to abdicate our responsibility Would God want us to kill in the name of God? Would God want us to die in the name of love? No, certainly not. Would God support anything else than equality and oneness of life? No. If I was God, I would not support and would not want anything else but equality and oneness of life, because I see that that is the point where each and every single being, each and every single living point of this existence would have full power and full life and full existence. No competition, no fighting, no war, no jealousy, no harm required to get something, to get somewhere. No, we are all here. Everything is here. Why the fuck do we follow any religion that promises anything in some afterlife while we exploit this earth, this planet, and allow half the world, half of our sisters and brothers to die, to starve, to suffer, with so much less than the basic needs that we all require to survive in this world, on this planet. So, all in all, there's really some questions one has to ask oneself in self-honesty, in practical common sense, in the context of this world, this reality, to get to some common sense and to get to a point where one really starts to question everything that we have accepted and allowed, because that is what is giving permission for this world, this existence, to exist the way it does. And the way this existence is here currently is an atrocity of a world, is unacceptable. And the only way to change things is to change ourselves and to stand up and accept nothing less than life, nothing less than equality and oneness of life for all and everything that is here. OSHO, by the way, did some very interesting and very supportive, very assisting interviews through the portal on various different subjects, on subjects like self-honesty, self-trust, self-management, and really practical points that anyone is able to utilize to assist and support oneself in this world, in this reality, to start standing up within oneself and taking self-directive power to make a difference.